Hello students, today we are going to discuss one of the most important topic under the Negotiable Instrument Act, that is the dishonor of check or bouncing of check. Why I said this most important, not only from your examination point of view but in your daily life. You may be issuing the checks whether you are into the business, whether you are a homemaker, whether you are into the job. So once you issue the check, all the conditions of dishonor of check or bouncing of check applies on you. So most of the time we have interchangeably used these words return of check or bouncing or dishonor of check. Actually they are two different terms. Return of check is different and bouncing of check is different. What is return of check? Let us check. Return of check may be due to the n number of reasons, like the drawer signature on the check. The person who has actually issued the check does not match with the signatures given into the bank. The second can be that the drawer has made a stop payment into the bank for that particular check. The next can be the checks are post dated. That means still the date is to come for the check what has been issued. Next it can be the out of date. That means the validity of check is already over, that is that it has even crossed the 3 months validity period given by the RBI. So that can be the reasons for the return of check. But what is actually dishonor or check bounce cases, bouncing of check? So dishonor or bouncing of check is when the drawer's account does not have the sufficient money into the account to meet the liability for that particular check issued to the payee. मतलब ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਅਕਾਊਂਟ 'ਚ ਪੈਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਲਾਇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੰਡਸ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੇ, ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਉਂਸਿੰਗ ਆਫ ਚੈੱਕ ਔਰ ਡਿਸਆਨਰ ਆਫ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ. ਦੈਟ ਇਜ਼ ਦੀ ਮੇਨ ਕਰਕਸ ਵੇਅਰ ਵੀ ਸਟੈਂਡ. Actually, up till 31st March 1989, the bouncing of check or dishonor of check was considered as a simple thing, as civil liability, nothing beyond that particular thing. Hence, being considered as for the simple civil liability, or simple civil proceedings were to be initiated in case of check bounce also. So many people started misusing this thing because of the delay in the civil proceeding. They started misusing by willful delaying the payments. That means if you want to delay the payment, it was found out to be the best method. You issue a check, the payment will be delayed. When the check bounces, the person will go to the court and civil proceedings will start, and your years and years go on. So people started losing the faith into this particular system as to the business transactions, and the business people started seeing these transactions through the check with fear and started finding the other alternatives. So government start thinking on this line that to amend the Negotiable Instrument Act. In that particular year, in 89, they brought up the amendment into the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 by introduction of section 138. Now what is the section 138? Now under section 138, the dishonor or bouncing of check due to insufficiency of funds into the account when the check has been returned unpaid will be treated as a criminal offense. Now that is the biggest change being brought by the government to retain the faith of the people into the check system by making it as a criminal offense, and even introducing the main imprisonment that can go up to 2 years. So that was the basic point of bringing the amendment into this particular act by making it as a criminal one, and introduction of imprisonment up to 2 years. That was the thing. But for that, to file the case under the section 138, the following conditions need to be satisfied: that the drawer has issued the check to the payee for a legally enforceable debt or liability. Now what is legally enforceable debt or liability? Like you have bought something from the market, like it may be TV, AC, anything, a car, you have issued a check for the payment of that particular thing. That is a legal liability being created and enforceable at court of law. That means the agreement plus enforceability of law is equal to contract. So you have now under the negotiable instrument, we are again talking about the enforceability. That why you have taken that particular, the person has given that particular check, why you have taken that particular check, that as the legal liability is being created. Another thing, like you have taken a loan from the bank. It may be a personal loan, it may be a car loan, it may be a housing loan or any other loan. So bank takes the check in advance, which is called advance check. Why they take the check? That in case if there is any default into the payment, they can present the check into, and if the check bounces, they can pursue with it. So that has been legal liability being created because it is enforceable very well. Everything is in written form, contracts are being signed, so everything you have to take care of that is legally enforceable. But there are certain examples, like in unorganized sectors, the committees are running where nothing is written and has no records that who are the persons who are into the committee, how they are paying the payment. In that case, if the check is being issued and the check bounces, it's very difficult to prove for what purpose you have to. So enforceability becomes in a big question mark. So that has to be taken care of for the purpose you are taking the check. Next is the check should be in the valid admissible specific date, like the 3 months given by the RBI or the specific date mentioned, whichever is the earliest. So check has to be presented by the payee to the banker before that particular date. Once the dates are being crossed, if you present the check after that, that means there is totally wasteful exercise. So earlier, now here I am making one particular note. Earlier, RBI used to give 6 months validity for the check, but it was in April 2012 when RBI changed the rules and the validity for check has been reduced to 3 months only. So you have to take care of that thing. Moreover, the next main point is that the check has been returned back by the banker saying the insufficiency of funds to honor the check. So that means that if check is returned to the payee by the bank with the saying that the check has been unpaid because of the insufficiency of the funds. So that has to be taken care of. Next is, once these 3 things are there, the person or the payee has to send a legal 15 days notice to the person from the date of receiving of an information within the 30 days. He has to send the legal notice for 15 days to return that money. Once the person is not giving the money even in those legal notice 15 days, then the person has the right to file the suit. So all these conditions need to be taken care of before you file a suit. So the above said conditions are fulfilled. Now the person or the payee has the legal right to file a suit into the court of law under the Negotiable Instrument Act section 138 as a criminal offence. So that is the case where the court allows the person, saying that all the conditions are fulfilled and even in the legal notice has been given by the person and still the money is unpaid, the person files the suit. Now comes that the drawer has to defend the case. The drawer can defend the case. It all depends upon the discretion of the judge how to allow that defendant to defend the case. Some judges may ask the person to deposit some money. It may vary from 10% to up to 50% of the total check amount to deposit if they want to defend their case. So that is the thing. Or it may be sometimes the judges don't even ask for that. They can simply ask the person, they can defend the case for which they have been filed against them. So that is the particular thing. Why these particular charges are being charged? Because the number of cases are increasing in the court of law, the check bounce. So much so that every district has now one dedicated judge who is just listening to the cases of check bounce or dishonor of check. No other case is being listed with that particular judge. In the big cities like Ludhiana, there are almost 2 judges. There are 2 judges who listen to his particular cases. So we have to be very careful when doing with this thing. But actually, it all is the discretion over here. Moreover, once the check bounce case is there and the defendant is the drawer who has issued the check is found guilty of the thing, he has the right to appeal. If your appeal is also lost, then there is no other option left except to go to the jail. But over here there are two different things. Now one thing is the jail term, that means it's a criminal offense and the punishment is being given to the person in the term of jail, that is the minimum 6 months and maximum 12 months. That amendment has again been made, seeing the rise in the cases even after the introduction of the 2 years jail. So minimum now 6 months has to be there. Even along with that, there can be monetary punishment also in form of the mental harassment charges or in the lawyer's fees or etc. But recovery of the amount is a separate issue. It should not be confused with this particular thing of Negotiable Instrument Act. You have to file a separate suit for the recovery of the amount into the check. That means recovery of that particular amount is totally different from this issue of filing a complaint under the Negotiable Instrument Act and into section 138. It is totally different. Here you can get the person punished for that particular offense, but you will not be able to recover your amount. Your amount will be recovered through the recovery suit filed into the civil proceedings, and you have the time of 2 years from the date on which you receive the information on the bank about the dishonor of check due to insufficiency of funds. Within 2 years you can file that case. Beyond the 2 years, it all depends upon the discretion of judge. Why you have to explain why you have not filed into that particular period, what were the reasons. If the judge will be satisfied, then only he will be allowing you to file that particular suit, otherwise not. So you have to take care that within 2 years you have to file that particular case, and this is separate case, so hence does not have any relevance with that outcomes of that case which you have filed under the Negotiable Instrument Act under section 138. That is for the offense for which punishment is there, but here it is for the recovery. So the person will have to deposit the requisite court fees only, that is the 2.5% maximum, up to 2.5%, and certain fixed charges on the total amount of the check. So variable amounts have variable fixed amounts and variable even, and the percentages, so is maximum up to 2.5%, which one has to pay as a court fees for filing that recovery suit. So in case of check bounce, there are two different suits you have to file. One is under the Negotiable Instrument Act section 138, where to get that person who has willful default into the payment as the punishment for that particular offense into the criminal activity. Another is the recovery of your money, which is to be filed under the recovery suit into the civil proceedings. So separate two cases have to be filed, and they can run simultaneously without the outcomes of each other on to the things. Thank you.